was very proud of the $5,000 I had cash in my savings account back when I made less than $30,000 a year. Here are a few things that I did then to make savings happen, and a few things I've learned over the years that make saving a lot easier. It's the beginning of the year. A lot of us will get some sort of pay increase, be it to adjust for inflation, adjust for the current cost of living. But here's the thing. Your cost of living in December is the same as it is in January. Your cost of living does not increase because it is now on January 1st. If you could survive on your previous paycheck back in December, back in November, you will do just fine January, February, and so on. So here's what you should do. Set aside the difference in your paycheck. So whatever raise you get, I know for some of us it's just a few cents, but that's okay. It all adds up. Take that difference and divert it immediately to your savings account. If you don't know, you can actually set this up with your HR. Just have them split your paycheck so that that new income, that new raise goes directly to your savings account and you don't see it. It adds up. 2 words. Tax return. Hold on. I'm not going to be one of those who tell you do not spend anything. Take just a portion of that. It could be half, it could be 1/3, and spend on whatever it is you want to spend. I know it is not free money, it is your money. But listen, you have worked hard for that money, and there's absolutely nothing wrong to take a portion of that for yourself, and then the rest goes into savings. At some point, I was doing half and half, depending on the amount. I would let myself use half, especially for vacation. This is where I would get my vacation money back in the day when we were making not a lot of money, less than 30K gross. Big difference. I would take half of that and I would use that for my vacation for the year and save the other half. This next tip is not for you if you are still struggling with debt, if you're not careful with spending, you're the type who always goes overboard when you have money, then this is not for you. Go ahead and fast forward to number 4, cashback rewards. I know there are a lot of people who are against credit cards, but I think there are ways you can actually make it work for you. So if you don't have any issues with spending, well, no one has issues with spending, but if you don't have any issues with sticking to the plan, if you're not one of those who goes overboard because, hey, credit card and we spend, then cashback rewards is a great way to save money. I use MasterCard Cash Reward, where you get 2% for every single thing you get. I use it for things that I will have to spend on anyway. Groceries, for your gas, utilities, things you will spend on regardless. I use credit card, and that way I can get my 2% back. 2% back on $100, it's only $2, no big deal. But 2% back on 10,000, on 5,000, we're talking 12 months worth of living. Review your subscriptions. We are good at being careful not to get ourselves in debt, but you know where we get got, where they get us, or where life encroaches in. There are those little subscriptions, those $10, $9.99, $9.99, listen, $5.99, $7.99, $12.99, $14.99. Take a second look at your subscriptions. For me, as a YouTuber, what I noticed was, wait a minute, I'm paying for this editor, I'm paying for this photo editor, I'm paying for Canva, I'm paying for that. And I realized, wait a second, with the phone updates that happens, our phone camera gets updated. So what it couldn't do a year ago that I was paying for with a different app, it can do now. So why am I still paying for this app? Between Canva and my phone, so I got rid of 2 other apps that I was using, and that was money that was going out every month. Now, I know you see it as it's just $11.99, it's just $14.99. Well, the problem is $11.99 here, $7.99 here. It all adds up. I'm not going to tell you cut everything up because you are alive and you will live and you need things to live. Stick with your Netflix if that's your streaming of choice, or whatever it is, your Disney Plus, whatever it is. Just be more picky with the subscriptions you use. Sometimes what you may not have realized is that one app can do what other apps are doing, like in my case, or you don't actually use it, or you don't use it as much to make it worth what you're paying. Capiche? Shopping for your groceries online makes you stick to your budget. Need I say more? You're not seeing all these extra things and all those packaging. They have people who have degrees on degrees to come up with the best packaging to catch your attention. Shopping online is like having tunnel vision. I need bacon. I type bacon. I'm not seeing sausage on the side and bratwurst on the side, or whatever it's called. It's just bacon. Don't buy that Starbucks and don't buy that coffee and save your $3. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to bring it up. Is there truth to that? Yeah. But I will bring up taking lunch to work rather than buying lunch at work. Huge difference. Huge. When you're making 30,000 a year, no one needs to tell you not to buy food at work. You know, you don't have money for food at work. You take food from home. But when I was pregnant, I was married, two income, big difference. First trimester, I'm not eating my own food. Heck, the whole pregnancy, I'm not eating my own food. I can't. So I bought food from work. Huge difference. Not that it mattered because once again, two paychecks. But I could see the difference because when you buy lunch, minimum $7, minimum. And that's just the food. We're not talking the drinks because, you're going to get something to drink. So let's just say $10. I mean, I don't have to do the math. You know the math. $10 a day, 5 days a week, times 4, times 12. Am I saying you should never buy lunch? No. You work hard. You should enjoy the fruit of your labor. But it cannot be an everyday thing. It cannot be an every week thing. And if you're buying breakfast and lunch, this next tip is not going to come in handy now. It's going to come in handy later on in the year. And that is your current gadgets work just fine. And this goes from your phone to appliances to kitchen stuff you buy for your house. I'm going to move away from the phone for now and let's stick to the things we get from, our favorite online shopping places. When you see new things online, ask yourself, do they really make that much of a difference in my life? I'll give you an example. There's this new thing going on. I'm not going to call the name or whatnot, but it's something where it gets cold and you put it on your face. It's the new thing. I mean, it's a hype now. And I wondered, well, what is the difference between this and washing my face with cold water, or this and using a cold towel on my face? And how many times am I actually going to use this? And isn't this the same thing as the cold patch or whatever patch we used to use? So why do I need to buy another thingy on my face? It makes no sense. Now, the thing that gets us, and it gets me too, is when you see that price and it's $7.99. Oh, it's only $7.99. Well, it's the behavior. $7.99 for this, and then you see another item, another, say, kitchen appliance. Who is going to wash it? That's how I measure what to buy. If I'll buy something, all right, this new gadget for chopping up this thing, how are you going to wash it? And if it's a lot of headache to wash it, then you're not going to use it that much. Then is it worth buying and having yet another item? It's about the behavior. And then let's take it to the phones and the gadget. Your phone works just fine. Do you need an upgrade? Let's talk about the headset. If you're hearing the music just fine, do you need a new one? Unless it's broken, do you need a new one? So rethink before you buy or upgrade. The library can save you a lot of money and you don't even know it. We have a great resource that we already pay for, but we're not using, and that is the public library. The library has a lot of books, current books, and DVDs for those of you who still use DVDs. But listen, if you haven't been to your local public library in the last, I don't know, in the last 5 years, 5, 10 years, you don't even know. You still have the library of back in the day. That's not how it is. Do you know the library also has audio books? Aha. So rather than, and I hate to say this because I'm not trying to take money out of authors and stuff, but before you buy, take a look at the library. Sometimes when I see parents buying books for kids and knowing that after your kid reads the book, it's going to end up just sitting in a room and probably Goodwill, which is great. Goodwill needs resources and all that. But if your focus is on saving this year, then think about the library before you buy. And they give you a good amount of time to hold on to the book. The last time I rented a book from the library, I had it for 20 something days and then I could renew. And guess what? I could renew over the phone. Another way to save money this year is to reshop for the things you've had for a very long time. And this would be your cell phone, your insurance. I've had the same insurance company for 12 years. I'm trying to do the math in my head. 11 years, the same insurance company for my home insurance, for my car insurance and all that. And now it's time to shop around because back when I joined that company, they were the most affordable one. I'm not saying the cheapest because it's not about the cheapest. It's about getting the best price for the coverage you need, right? But it's time for me to shop around because over a decade, we've had new companies come in, we've had competition. And sometimes too, it's also making sure you're getting the right price for your coverage because sometimes with some insurance, because you've been on the same coverage, the same plan year after year after year, you're not actually going with your most competitive price. So reshop your insurance, reshop your phone. For those of us in a certain age group, in the 30s and 40s, we have so much on our plate. The last thing we need is another phone call that we have to make, another work where I know, I get it. That's why we stay stuck to the same plans year after year, because it's just, listen, that has been done, it's been taken care of. That's it. But is something you just have to do one time if you're looking at increasing your savings rate. And yes, it is extra work, but you only have to do it one time. Maybe give yourself January as a time to do the hard work and set it and forget it. These are the tips that actually work, because they are tips that I have used. Came in handy for me when I made not a lot of money, and still comes in handy now that we have two paychecks. Well, now we're back down to one paycheck. So it's coming in handy. And I hope it helps you this year to save as much money as you can, because I don't know why. You come up with the reasons for your life. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.